Okay, we're on Maaser Sheni, Perek Aleph, Mishnah Hey, fifth Mishnah in the first chapter of Maaser Sheni. So we learned in previous Mishnayot, we learned actually in the beginning, in the introduction, we learned that what you can do is if you have produce, if you have produce and it's too far, and you can't take your 82 bushels of wheat, you could transfer the value of the Maaser Sheni to money, and then you can use it to eat anything you want, to buy anything you want. Bakar, tzon, yayin, sheikhar. You basically are allowed to use the money of Maaser Sheni to buy food in Yerushalayim, as we're going to see. You have to buy it in Yerushalayim. You can't buy it outside of Yerushalayim. And you eat the food in Yerushalayim, and there you go. So the question is, can you buy anything you want? And the answer the Mishnah tells is, of course, no, not anything. There are some small limitations. Says the Mishnah, Halokeach mayim umelach. If you used it to buy water or salt, or fruits that are still attached to the ground, or fruits that cannot reach Yerushalayim, i.e., they're going to rot. Lo kana maaser. The maaser is not koneh, i.e., they're going to rot before they get to Yerushalayim. Then lo kana maaser. The maaser is not koneh. Look at the Bartanura for a second. Lo kana maaser v'lo chalak kedushat maaser al hadavar kanui. Maaser does not fall, the kedushat maaser doesn't fall on the thing that's purchased. And the money has not become chulin, rather the money is still Maaser Sheni, the money of Maaser Sheni. So the question is, how do we know these rules? Water, salt, perot that are attached to the ground, perot that are going to rot. So the Bartanura says, the Bartanura and the Rambam both quote drasha from the Gemara and the Yerushalmi. So I thought I actually copied this and I put it for you in color, because this is a great way of learning one of the klalei limud of the Gemara. So the Gemara says, so we read this pasuk again. Let's read it again. So what do? V'natata kesef, you take the money. B'chol asher ta'aver nafshecha, anything you want. Bakar, batzon, b'yayin, b'sheichar, whether it's sheep or cattle or wine or booze. U'b'chol asher tishalcha nafshecha, anything you want. V'yachalta l'sham lifnei Hashem elokecha. So the Gemara says the following. The way, the order, and the details that are divided into three ways. Okay? That's what's considered a klal. Anything you want. It's a general rule. What can I buy? Anything. That's a klal. Bakar ubatzon ubayayin ubashechar. Right? Bakar, tzon, sheep, cattle, wine, and shechar. Prat, that's specific. Rather, can you buy anything you want? First you said you could buy anything. Then you said not anything. Bakar, tzon, yayin, shechar. And then the Torah says, "Ubechol asher tishalcha nafshecha." Anything your heart desires. Chazaru klal. So this is a rule you might recognize from the beginning of the davening. Shloshei midot Rabbi Shmuel omer. Shloshei midot Torah Yisrael ben migzcha v'chomer gzeveshava. One of them is klal, prat, klal. Klal u'prata klal. I atadan ela ke'ein haprat. So it has to have the qualities of the prat. Ma haprat mefurash. So what are the rules? What are the rules of this prat? Bakar, tzon, yayin, shechar. Ochel, it's food. Gidulei karka. Gidulei karka means it grows in the ground. Now you're going to have to use a little bit of your imagination. Why? Bakar utzon, because sheep and cattle, they grow from plants that grow from the ground. Sometimes in halacha, sheep and cattle are considered bakar, or gidulei karka. So, just take the Gemara at its word. So it has to be ochel, it has to be food, gidulei karka, v'talush, and it also has to be not attached to the ground. It also has to last until you get to Yerushalayim. So it has to have food and grow on the ground and be separated and also last. So that excludes water and salt, even though they're food. They don't grow on the ground. That excludes perot mechubim lakarka, or fruits that are not mechubar. She'enam tlushim. They're not connected to they're not picked. And also excludes perot anirkovim, fruit that rot, she'agiu Yerushalayim, she'eno davar mitkayim. So therefore, when we go back to our Mishnah, we understand water, melach, they don't grow on the ground. Perot mechubim lakarka, it's not tulushim. Perot she'enam mechubim lagiu Yerushalayim, also, that was excluded from the klal uprat to klal because it's not like the prat, and therefore lo kana maaser. Our Mishnah continues. Halokeach perot. Let's say I buy fruit with money of Maaser Sheni, but I didn't realize that I was outside of Yerushalayim. And normally the rule is lechatchila, you can only buy Maaser Sheni in Yerushalayim. But I had this money and I didn't mark it, or my wife took the money from my wallet. She didn't know it was in the special Maaser Sheni compartment, and she bought fruits with it. Shogeg. So if I didn't know, I did it by accident. Yachzeru damim limkomam. Then you just give everything back. You tell the owner, you tell the store owner, I made a mistake. It's a mekach ta'ut. It's a mistaken transaction. Okay, and I can't, because if I had known it was Maaser Sheni, I live in Yad Binyamin, I wasn't going to buy those oranges because I don't want to take them to Yerushalayim. Okay, and therefore the money goes back to its owner. This is what the Bartunura says. Have mekach ta'ut. If the purchaser knew that I bought bananas, they would not have bought them because then I have to schlep my bananas to Yerushalayim. And therefore it's mekach ta'ut. But mezid, if I did it on purpose, whatever. Then I have to take those fruits into Yerushalayim. I have to take them to the makom, to Yerushalayim, okay? And I have to eat it in Yerushalayim. The Bartunura, the Kahati says, L'chatchila, the halacha is, the Rambam says, Ein mechalalin ma'od Maaser Sheni al davar ochel chutz Yerushalayim. L'chatchila, you only buy fruits, you can only take the Maaser Sheni money and spend it in Yerushalayim. B'di'evet, if you get it by accident, then we can let you go back. V'im, and if you did it on purpose, then you're stuck. Then no backsies, and you have to take the fruit to Yerushalayim. V'im ein migdash, and if there's no Beit HaMikdash, lo aleinu, now there's no Beit HaMikdash, yerakeh yerakmu, you leave the food and it has to become rotten. Okay? You can't redeem them back outside of Yerushalayim because there's no Beit HaMikdash and you're stuck. So you shouldn't waste your ma'ot Maaser Sheni on food outside of Yerushalayim today. We'll stop here. If you have any comments or questions, as always, feel free to contact me at arspolter@gmail.com. I want to get this learning from the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.